The tobacco wars, a new attempt today by cigarette makers to tar a whistleblower. But will it stick? Also tonight, encouraging news about the fight against AIDS. The first solid evidence that drug therapy can help victims live longer. Encouraged by President Clinton and Vice President Gore, Congress completes a major rewiring of the nation's telecommunications laws. Bob Schieffer on what it will mean to you. And a CBS News exclusive, why your government is scrapping plans to require anti-lock brakes on all new cars.
This is the CBS Evening News. With Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. The Brown and Williamson Tobacco Company switched today to a stronger brand of attack against whistleblower Jeffrey Wigand. The company put out hundreds of pages of accusations aimed at discrediting the tobacco industry insider who is now telling what he says he knows. The tobacco company's latest counterattack began in an interview by correspondent Jim Stewart on this broadcast last night. More was published in today's Wall Street Journal. What Wigand calls a smear campaign follows his serious allegations against the tobacco industry in a sworn court deposition and in an interview with Mike Wallace, seen on this broadcast, more of which will be seen Sunday. Tonight, Jim Stewart has the latest round in the tobacco wars.
Facing explosive allegations from former top executive Jeffrey Wigand, Brown and Williamson tobacco executives have released a searing private investigation of their former chief of research and a no-holds-barred effort to discredit him. Entitled The Misconduct of Jeffrey S. Wigand, available in the public record, the 500-page report attempts to document allegations ranging from shoplifting to resume padding. One chapter, for example, delves into such detail as to whether Wigand fraudulently complained about some damaged golf clubs. And in another, Brown and Williamson suggest he lied about receiving a YMCA award in 1971. The YMCA tells CBS News it can't remember if it gave Wigand an award. But other allegations by Brown and Williamson are far more serious.
This is a man who shoplifted liquor from a liquor store.
Was he charged?
Charged, pled guilty, did community service.
But that's not exactly true, according to the judge who heard Wigand's case. Though he did do community service, she tells CBS Wigand never pled guilty and the charges were eventually dismissed. And there's this allegation.
This is a man who, although making a very good salary, for 5 years failed to pay child support.
But Wigand's lawyer said the child in question actually lived with her father much of the time, and the claim was settled. All in all, the report is a clear shot across the bow of a man who poses a clear danger to the tobacco industry. Jeffrey Wigand is poised to tell 2 federal grand juries and a slew of state investigators that the former head of Brown and Williamson lied when he testified that nicotine is not addictive. The former executive's charges will be examined in detail this Sunday on the CBS News program 60 Minutes.
Obviously, the tobacco industry, Brown and Williamson in particular, is scared.
Well, and they have reason to be scared. This is a man who was there. He knows where the bodies are buried, and they're doing everything they can to prevent him from leading the police to the spot.
A deadly spot, Wigand alleges, that he personally surveyed from 4 years spent at the top of the tobacco industry. Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
In the search for new and effective treatments to fight AIDS, some encouraging news tonight. There is still no cure, but the latest research on a powerful new class of AIDS drugs shows they do prolong life and reduce complications even for people in advanced stages of the disease. Correspondent Jacqueline Adams has this story.
To see him on the street, you'd never know that Chet Holcomb has an advanced case of AIDS.
You're doing fantastic as usual.
That's thanks largely to an experimental antiviral drug, ritonavir.
This is probably the most exciting development we've had in dealing with HIV disease.
At an annual AIDS conference, researchers today reported their startling findings. In a 7-month test of 1,000 patients in the most advanced stage of the disease, ritonavir cut the number of deaths in half and the number of AIDS complications by 60%. Used in combination with the standard AIDS treatment, doctors believe they now have the weapons to stop the HIV virus.
Perhaps ultimately we will be able to use these drugs to actually eradicate virus from the body.
But experts caution that the studies are so short-term, no one yet knows if the HIV virus will outsmart this drug as it has so many others.
The unanswered question is, what about the real-world situation where someone has several years to go? They're not on their deathbed.
Advocates for AIDS patients are also worried the new drug will triple the cost of HIV treatment. The bill, they estimate, will rise from $5,000 a year per person to $18,000.
The greatest paradox is we've got these new therapies which clearly work, but will we be able to use them?
Still, AIDS researchers who've hit so many dead ends over the years think this time ritonavir has finally given them something to cheer about. Jacqueline Adams, CBS News, Washington.
Still to come on the CBS Evening News from our new CBS News World Headquarters. American forces take casualties in Bosnia from a landmine. And later, a candidate for Congress indicted for TV ads that may have gone too far. And from California, surfing the World Wide Web from the side of the road.
If you've been drinking Ensure, there's a little something you should know. Sustacal has more protein, less fat, and about twice as much calcium. No, Sustacal can't add years to your life, but it might help add life to your years.
Every year, people have trouble keeping their resolutions to eat better. Now there's help. Whole grain total with 100% of 11 of the many vitamins and minerals you need. Call 1-800-FREE-BOX for a sample to help make this year a healthy and happy one.
Minor arthritis pain. Wish you could go back in time to before arthritis? Try Capsaicin P with the topical ingredient doctors recommend most for arthritis pain. When the pain is gone, it's almost like you've gone back in time. Capsaicin P.
It finally got pushed through. Congress today approved the long-awaited overhaul of laws governing this country's enormous telecommunications industry. This will have a major impact on the companies that provide telephone, broadcast, computer services, and more, and on all of us who use them. Correspondent Bob Schieffer has our report from Capitol Hill.
This is obviously a great day. It's been decades in the making.
It's been in the works so long, final debate was perfunctory, and the final product so technical there's been little public interest. But broadcasters, cable operators, and phone companies spent millions lobbying Congress on how to shape it, and no wonder. Billions are at stake. The bill clears the way for all of them to get into each other's businesses by overhauling the regulations that have separated them for 60 years. Long-distance phone companies will be allowed to compete for local business. Regional companies can go after long-distance business. New rules allow individual companies like CBS's owner Westinghouse to own more television stations, enabling them to reach up to 35% of the nation's households. The bill forces manufacturers to install computer chips in televisions so parents can block objectionable programs. And price controls on cable TV rates are phased out. That worries some consumer groups.
In communities that find themselves with deregulated cable service, we expect that rates will go up on average around $5 to $7 a month until we get some sort of a competitor in the market.
But industry lobbyists argued the overhaul will create more and better service in all areas, and legislators believe the competition will boost the economy.
This is in some ways the biggest jobs bill in modern American history.
Senate Republican leader Dole had called the bill a giveaway for allowing broadcasters free access to the TV channels of the future. But when other senators agreed to take that up later, he withdrew his objection, and that ensured final passage. Bob Schieffer, CBS News at the Capitol.
Let's pause for a moment to underscore what this means. It is a giant, sweeping overhaul of telecommunications, large and small, in this country. A few minutes ago, I spoke with Vice President Al Gore about this law. He told me he believes it will do more to help the U.S. economy grow now than anything Congress has passed in a long while. Also tonight, your government has some big changes afoot when you hit the brake pedal of your car. Correspondent Bob Orr has exclusive information about why the federal push to require anti-lock braking systems on new cars has hit the skids.
CBS News has learned federal safety regulators are abandoning a 2-year effort to require anti-lock brakes on all cars, claiming that ABS may actually contribute to as many fatal crashes as it prevents.
It was a wash overall.
So for that reason, at this point, you're not moving forward with this?
At this point, no. We don't feel that we have reason to move forward to mandate it.
A government investigation into 5 years of accidents uncovered a deadly surprise. Anti-lock brakes did reduce the number of fatal car collisions on wet roads by 24%. But regulators were shocked by a 28% increase in the number of fatal accidents involving cars that ran off the road. Experts say ABS technology is sound, but drivers don't know how to use it. Drivers mistakenly pump the brakes, turning the emergency braking system on and off. And sometimes panicked drivers literally steer their cars off the road.
We're concerned that people don't quite understand what an anti-lock brake system is or what to expect from it.
But the auto industry, which has tens of millions of dollars riding on ABS technology, today released its own study touting a safety payoff.
If every vehicle on the road had ABS today, we would be preventing over 500,000 accidents.
Buyers have been spending up to $1,000 per car for anti-lock brakes, believing they provide an automatic safety benefit. And insurance companies have routinely offered rate discounts. But now, without a government mandate, car makers may be stuck with an expensive option few people are willing to pay for. Bob Orr, CBS News, Washington.
You've always made a great team. Together growing, dreaming, caring, and sharing the rewards along the way. Park Avenue. For the comfort, for the luxury, for the quality. Congratulations, you've earned it. Buick Park Avenue.
I thought I knew it all till you came. Now you cry and I don't know why. What are you thinking? Can you dream? So maybe I don't know it all. Like making the right decisions for your future. You're the helpless one, but I'm the one who needs a hand now.
There is more at stake now. Ask a Merrill Lynch financial consultant who can help with a plan and more ways to make the plan work than anyone else. The difference is planning. The difference is Merrill Lynch.
They came from two different worlds. Fate brought them together.
Are you another man sent to do me injustice?
Her love made him a hero. Critics call Restoration sensuous and thrilling. Robert Downey Jr. and Meg Ryan are brilliant.
I love you, Robert.
I love you. 2 thumbs up. The most passionate love story of the year. Restoration, rated R. Starts Friday, February 2nd, everywhere.
Think it's cold where you are? This is the coldest spot in the country. So why is it so popular?
Booked solid. You couldn't get a room if you had to.
No vacancy. What makes this cold spot such a hot spot? Correspondent Bill Geist will tell you tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
NATO peacekeepers keep pouring in, but Bosnia still looks like a war zone. Tonight, French troops reported killing a sniper near Sarajevo, and in a minefield near Tuzla, 2 more young American soldiers were wounded. Vicki Mabry is our war zone correspondent.
The 2 American soldiers were medevac to an Army field hospital after the explosion. They were walking in Serb territory just 9 miles south of the American base in Tuzla when they tripped the mine in an area that was supposed to be safe.
There are just never any full guarantees that all those mines are going to be out. The mines are something that you don't take for granted. They have no conscience.
Mine clearance has been a major worry for the American forces here, and the soldiers were reportedly checking to see if the area they were in was mine-free. 2 days ago, a track was blown off a Bradley fighting vehicle in the same area, an area the Serbs claim had already been cleared of mines. The soldiers were re-inspecting that spot today with the Serbs when the accident occurred. Another American soldier was injured when he drove over a mine within the first few weeks of the peacekeeping mission. In a country where 3 million mines were laid during the war and only about a third of them mapped out, accidents of this kind are on the mind of every soldier. When Russian troops arrived to take over a hilltop checkpoint from the Americans this morning, the first thing they wanted to know was where they could safely walk.
And the whole area up along the trench is all free of mines. No mines.
If there are any mines in the bushes.
We don't go in the bushes.
This afternoon in Croatia, British troops held a memorial service for 3 of their soldiers killed earlier this week by a mine. Like the Americans, they had been told the area they were traveling through had already been cleared of explosives. Vicki Mabry, CBS News, Tuzla.
Still ahead, the congressional candidate indicted criminal charges for what he said about his opponent.
He said he wants more control.
Oh boy.
Told me he's looking for faster response and more security.
And he's leaving the firm?
No. He's getting a Cadillac DeVille.
Now DeVille is better than ever, because now it has the North Star system and its extraordinary combination of comfort, safety, security, and performance. Nothing else feels like DeVille from Cadillac.
I suppose he'll want a better parking space, too.
How fast can you begin to feel relief from a cold? Depends. How fast can you open a Halls? Halls with vapor action soothes your throat, quiets your cough, and penetrates nasal passages. Vapor action means instant action, only from the Halls of Medicine. And now great tasting Halls Juniors, just for kids, sugar-free and with a kid-sized dosage of Halls Vapor Action.
There are many prescription pain medicines, and a doctor can prescribe any of them. Yet 82% of doctors surveyed have prescribed Arudis. And now, for the first time, it's available in a non-prescription strength. New Arudis KT. It's so potent, just 25 milligrams is as effective as 400 milligrams of Motrin IB, 440 of Aleve, or 1,000 milligrams of extra-strength Tylenol. New Arudis KT, the potent medicine for pain.
Wonder if they still fit. So far, so good. Part of having a great look. Whoa, good. It's an understatement. Is keeping it. And Kellogg's Special K can help. Fits like a glove. Great toasted taste, just 110 calories, and fat-free. I look like a teenager. I look like a rock star. Kellogg's Special K. Great taste never looks so good. Too bad I can't sing.
Tonight, meet Justin. He's already in the grip of the gang. Now his mother may have to give him up. Can Justin be saved? 48 hours tonight.
With a reminder that at this stage, polls never mean very much. There were these developments today in the presidential campaign. Senator and GOP hopeful Bob Dole said, "If I worried about every poll, I'd probably have an Excedrin headache." This after a new WBZ Boston Globe poll indicated Steve Forbes may be surging ahead of Dole in New Hampshire. Also today, the Federal Election Commission is reportedly looking into accusations of improper corporate campaign donations to Steve Forbes from the family company Forbes Incorporated. Forbes denies any wrongdoing. With so much being said about Steve Forbes, tonight context and perspective on what Forbes himself says, the substance of his campaign. Steve Forbes, born Malcolm Stevenson Forbes Jr., besides the family business, held one obscure job in government, married with 5 daughters, favorite book, Making of the President, 1960, played bagpipes, owns his own Pacific Island, has a personal and business inherited fortune. Phil Jones prepared this report on the substance of Steve Forbes in his own words.
Like your platform.
Great ad.
All of the reforms that I think we need to make all have the common thread and common theme of giving individual Americans more opportunity, more responsibility, more control over their lives.
Forbes says his campaign gets to the heart of the American experiment.
Which is simply this, that seemingly ordinary people can achieve extraordinary deeds when allowed and encouraged to take responsibility for themselves, for their families, and their communities.
It's also an experiment with an ordinary millionaire achieving extraordinary attention by using his own money. Forbes has done a complete flip from his position 6 years ago when he expressed no interest in the presidency unless, quote, you want to give it to me.
But it's a delight to be here tonight.
His message, in case you've missed it, is a 17% flat tax.
So if you're an individual, your first $13,000 is tax-free. If you're a couple, the first $26,000. For each child, $5,000. If you have 2 kids, the first $36,000. Thus, a family of 4 would pay no tax on their first $36,000 of income. There'd be no tax on your personal savings, no tax on your pensions, and no tax on your Social Security.
And no more deductions for home mortgages and charitable contributions.
And there's only one thing to do, ladies and gentlemen, with this monstrosity.
His obsession, the tax code.
You can't reform it. You can't trim it around the edges. The only thing you can do is to scrap it, kill it, drive a stake through its heart, bury it, and hope it never rises again to terrorize the American people.
For Forbes, all the other issues come after the flat tax.
With the flat tax, the tax cut, term limits, medical savings accounts, parental control of education, a new system for younger people on Social Security.
As for foreign policy, that too begins at home.
So 1996, if we do it right, if we get America moving again in a positive, inclusive direction, the rest of the world, most of the rest of the world, will follow suit, and those who don't will soon be whipped in line by their own restive peoples.
Steve Forbes, in context, reported by Phil Jones. Beyond the presidential campaign, just how negative can a candidate be in campaigning against his opponent, and who should draw the line? Edie Magnus has an important case in point.
He's all smiles with the voters, but today Tad Jude's campaign schedule included an unpleasant appearance in court. Jude, a Republican running for Congress from Minnesota, is believed to be the first national candidate to be indicted on criminal charges for running a false TV ad.
I believe that everything in that ad was true.
In 1990, a Minnesota woman and her 2 daughters...
Aired during Jude's unsuccessful congressional campaign in 1994, the ad blasted Jude's opponent, Democrat Bill Luther, for attacks committed 4 years earlier by a serial rapist, Daniel Patton, while out on furlough.
Patton may have never been released and his crime never committed had legislation authored by Tad Jude been enacted. But Jude's bill was stopped by Bill Luther and his liberal friends in the Minnesota Senate.
The record shows otherwise.
Prosecutor Charlie Deemer.
You're saying that Mr. Jude lied.
That's a fair statement.
Minnesota woman...
A grand jury found Luther never blocked Jude's crime bill in the state legislature, and moreover, the bill would not have affected the rapist's release. Jude, who could spend a year in jail if convicted, claims his indictment is political, coming just 2 weeks after he announced his '96 congressional run.
I don't think government should tell candidates or the press what they have to say as their opinions or ideas.
There's nothing wrong with giving opinions. When you state facts that are false, then you've run afoul of this law.
At a time when negative ads are a staple on the stump, some say this case could allow the courts to become dangerously involved in state politics.
What if an ad is run early in a campaign and it gets hauled into court? Then the courts in the middle of a campaign are trying to decide the accuracy of ads and who is a virtuous candidate and who isn't.
While a judge considers arguments the law is unconstitutional, Jude is finding himself explaining to voters not just what he wants to do in Washington, but what he did here at home. Edie Magnus, CBS News, New York.
Welcome to Heathrow, Wilson. Is London what you expected?
Not exactly, sir. How are we going to find our rental counter?
We don't need a rental counter. We're with Hertz #1 Club Gold.
Gee, it's fast.
Exactly.
Sir, car's waiting on your name in light.
Exactly.
And there's a canopy to protect us from the weather.
Exactly.
You know, sir, this is just like the States.
Not exactly, Wilson. You're on the wrong side of the road.
Sorry, sir.
Mrs. Simon, I see you're eating Quaker toasted oatmeal.
I see you've got 20/20 vision.
So tell me, Why Quaker toasted oatmeal?
You know another kind?
Then it's because it's made with the same all-natural whole rolled oats as hot Quaker oatmeal. Low-fat, nutritious. You might even say it's your other oatmeal.
You might, if you're long-winded enough.
Quaker toasted oatmeal. Oh, what those oats can do.
Pizza with everything. You know, onions, red peppers.
Hope you got that heartburn prescription handy.
Zantac?
Yeah.
Not today.
No?
For my occasional heartburn and acid indigestion. My doctor says I could try Pepsid AC.
And it works?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I feel wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, Pepsid AC can stop heartburn even before it starts.
Before it starts.
How about some fried calamari?
You must be feeling good.
Well, I got my Pepsid AC. I'm heartburn free.
You can be heartburn free with Pepsid AC. Ask your doctor.
When I was young, Mom was always making sure I ate right.
It wasn't always easy.
Well, now we're listening to our doctors and taking better care of our health with Ensure.
Ensure is recommended #1 by doctors as a source of complete balanced nutrition.
More than a vitamin supplement, Ensure has all the nutrients adults need to help stay healthy, active, be energetic.
Drink Ensure as a meal.
Or in between, Ensure. To your health, Mom.
To our health.
Ensure, recommended #1 by doctors.
No doubt about it, computers are getting more popular by the minute, already a fixture in millions of American homes. But tonight, correspondent John Blackstone has the story of a man who proves that with the home computer, the home is optional.
Neil Barry doesn't mind being homeless. He does mind not having a computer. That's one of the reasons he ended up in the county jail.
Computer can help me advance and learn, whereas an apartment cannot.
Barry earned $9 an hour as a shipping clerk, but lived in bushes along a freeway. When a highway work crew discovered him, he was cruising the information superhighway.
She had 2 keyboards, computer and cellular phone.
He didn't have a home.
He even had a modem.
But he had an email address on the internet.
Heck of a lot better off as far as computer age than I am at home.
The police suspected some of the equipment was stolen.
Toshiba brand, laptop computer. It's got the mouse right integrated into
the modem, the wires, the cell phone.
Somehow this connected to this, that went into this, and it was all hooked up.
And it all became part of the World Wide Web.
I'd like to know how it worked myself.
The police determined Barry paid for everything except 3 batteries stolen from a construction site. Barry said he found the batteries. Released on probation, he went straight to the nearest internet connection.
Yep, I have mail.
Lots of email for this new hero of cyberspace, including an offer from a screenwriter.
He thinks my story would make a great movie of the week.
But back at the probation office, Barry wasn't in the database.
Where is he on your computer?
He's not. It's not. As far as their computers are concerned, I don't exist yet.
Neil Barry knows these days it doesn't matter where you're listed or where you live, as long as you've got an address in cyberspace. John Blackstone, CBS News, San Rafael, California.
If you're not in the database, you're nobody. Later on 48 Hours, the desperate struggle to keep an 11-year-old boy from falling into the enticing and violent world of gangs. 48 Hours, Can Justin Be Saved? That's tonight at 10, 9 Central. For the CBS Evening News, Dan Rather reporting from our new CBS News World headquarters in New York. I'll see you again soon on 48 Hours.
CBS News.
It's going to shut it down. Definitely. It's going to shut it down.
I guess the best thing to do is to, once it starts getting bad, you just clear out and go home.
We weren't prepared the last time for the snow, so we wanted to make sure we were prepared this time.
From your news and information leader, this is the News Channel 5 6 o'clock report. Winter Storm 96.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Clark.
And I'm Vicki Yates. Thank you for joining us. Our top story tonight, Tennessee and Kentucky brace for nasty weather. Here on Skycam, you can see that the sleet has not started yet. It looks like this could be the worst storm, however, that we've seen in years.